Tie strength. Tie strength is the measure of strength of a relationship between people. How are two people ties? So it is the strength of relationship between the two people. Introduced by Mark Granovetter. The strength of the tie is combination of the amount of time, emotional intensity, the intimacy, that is mutual confiding and reciprocal services which characterize the tie. Two main type of tie strength: strong ties, rare and usually family members or very close friends. So your strong ties are with usually family members or very close friends. Weak ties, they are very common. Strong ties are rare, weak ties are very common and include acquaintances and more casual friendships. Absent ties, vendor visit your home to sell something. There is a tie because the vendor is coming to your home to sell that something, but there is no strong or weak ties. So it is just a casual meet up. It's a casual thing that he is doing his job. Nothing is being, no personal secrets are being shared in this kind of a relation. Next is tie strength. Very important in social media analysis. Consider flow of information through network. Strong ties are more trusted and their information is more reliable. So you will trust the strong ties because you know them more better, in a more better way, and whatever the information they will give will be more reliable. That means they will not spread any rumors or something. They will give the accurate information. Sometimes weak ties may provide highly trusted information. Now when is that? For example, doctor is more trusted than family members when there is a disease. Suppose the doctor is saying that you have got an XYZ disease, then he is more trusted as compared to a family member doing just a normal guesswork. So your doctor is a weak tie, but weak tie is more trusted over a strong tie, that is over a family member. Role of tie strength. Weak tie turns out to be incredibly important for finding a job and for the spread of anything through social connections. So more the number of weak ties you have, the more the number of followers you have. They are weak ties because you don't share anything, any personal confining information with them, but they will be more of use when you're finding a job or you want to spread your business somewhere through the social media. A person's weak ties, that is acquaintances, are likely to travel in different social circles, while strong ties are likely to know one another and travel in the same social circles. So family in the strong tie, family will have the same social circle, whereas someone from a friend, a far friend, will have his family or her family. Then there will be another friend who will have her family. So this family also you are spreading, this family also you are spreading. So you are spreading the information to two families because of weaker ties. Here the information is only getting circulated in one family circle. So the social circles, your WhatsApp groups, your followers, Instagram followers, Facebook followers will be same for strong ties. For weak ties, they will be different. Only you will have some mutual. For example, you may have 10 mutual friends for this, you will have 13 mutual friends for this, but the other are different. Here almost 100 will be mutual, same. Next is measuring tie strength. The strength of a tie, how can you measure it? By time. Time can include the amount of time people spend with each other, the duration of their relationship, that is how long they have known each other, and how frequently they see one another. So how long they know each other, how frequently they are speaking to each other is what is there. So if you are speaking for more time with each other, you know each other since decades, then there is a strong tie. Emotional intensity is indicated by the closeness of a relationship. Close friends or family members are likely to be strong ties, while more casual friends and acquaintances would be weaker ties. So casual friends who are you just meeting casually, hi hello types, they are what? They are weaker ties. That means they are your followers. Maybe they are followers on Insta, but they are your weaker ties, that is, you don't know them that frequently. Intimacy or mutual confiding relates to persons sharing secrets or intimate personal details with one another. The more of this information they exchange, the closer their relationship is likely to be. Reciprocal services are favors that people do for one another. They may be personal, example pet sitting or picking up someone's dry cleaning, financial, example loaning money, professional, example putting people in contact with one another or otherwise. Then the structural features. The strength of a tie depends on structural features relate to the social network of two people in question. Those who have many mutual friends are likely to have stronger ties. As I said here, there are 100 mutual friends with your family members, so you're likely to have a stronger tie with them. Social distance measures how different people's social situations are. This includes factors like age difference, race, education, and socio-economic status. People with stronger ties tend to have similar social attributes. Emotional support describes the communication between people that validate their emotions, shows understanding of their problems, and tries to alleviate stress. That is, tries to reduce the stress. These 7 factors are not equally important in determining tie strength. Here are just a few examples of over 70 variables that are used to measure tie strength. Intimacy, number of days since their last communication, number of friends in common, number of intimate words in their communication as determined by the software that automatically analyzes text. Intensity, number of words exchanged on one another's walls, depth of email threads in their inboxes, reciprocal services, number of links shared on one another's wall, applications the user had in common, age difference, difference in the number of educational degrees, difference in the number of occupation. Tie strength and network structure. The pattern of strong ties between being densely connected leads to another structural concepts called forbidden triad. Imagine there are 3 people, Alice, Bob and Chung. Alice and Bob have strong ties and Alice and Chung also have a strong tie. What does this tell about the relationship between Bob and Chung? While we cannot draw any absolute conclusion, it is likely that some sort of tie exists between Bob and Chung, either strong or weak. When that tie does exist, it is called as a forbidden triad. So a person who is married to B is having an affair with C. So B and C will also share some kind of relationship because of A. That's when we say that it is a forbidden triad. That means having an affair like this is not proper. So it is said to be a forbidden triad. In this network, PF, that is a strong tie, so it's a bridge. FO and PH and PN are strong ties. We can form 3 triads with PF and another node PFO, PFH, PFN. In these cases, if there is no third connection, we are left with a forbidden triad. So if there is no third connection, we say that it is a forbidden triad. For example, we expect that there should be an edge between P and O. Since strong ties connect P and F. Thus, since several forbidden triads are unexpected, it is very unlikely that a strong tie will ever be a bridge. Another edge is likely in one of these triads, and that will add another connection between the clusters. No strong tie is a bridge, while strong ties may be bridges. So if there is a strong tie between P and F, it may be a bridge. But if it is a strong tie, then it does not mean that it is a bridge also. Tie strength and network propagation. Network propagation is a phenomena where things spread through a network. Disease spreading through a social network, computer viruses on the internet, rumors and fads through a social network. Consider a disease Consider a disease that infects person B in the network. It can be passed from B to C, D to E, and F. Person B will not necessarily pass it to all its neighbors. He may not see some of them or simply may not affect others. For example, say B passes the disease to C and F. F then passes it to A, O, P, and Q, and C passes it to D, O, and Q. In this second phase, let's say O, P, and Q are all infected. Then they can pass it to their neighbors and so on. This describes the propagation of disease through a network. The same reasoning could apply to a rumor, a viral video, or a piece of news. So, network propagation may not be that only B is passing to C, D, E, and F. It can be that B is only passing to C and F, but C and F are in turn passing it to others, and their others are in turn passing it to others. So, B is not the only culprit. Next is trust. A person's trust another if she is willing to take a risk based on her expectation that the trusted person's action will lead to a positive outcome. Nuances of trust. Trust is a dynamic and complex part of human interaction. This section will address issues about how trust is built, how it relates to the context, and how it changes over time. Development of trust. One person develops trust in another over time through a series of interactions that help the person build up a belief in the reliability and good intentions of other, eventually to the point where she is willing to take a risk and act on building trust. A series of risks that are rewarded lead to more trust. So, more the risk you take, the more you build up a confidence on the person, the more the trust will be developed. Development of trust. So, 4 major components of the way people consider and build trust in others. How do you build trust? That is, how do you build faith in others? Calculation based trust. This is a rational decision about whether to trust someone and where the cost and benefits of trusting are factored in. Personal based trust. This reflects a person's propensity to trust developed over the course of their life. Cognition based trust. This describes the instant rapport and trust that can develop between people who share similar backgrounds, beliefs, and values. It often is based on first impressions. Institution based trust addresses how trust may form in the presence of guarantees and protections offered by an institution. So, how is trust developed? Development of trust asymmetric. For two people involved in a relationship, trust is not necessarily identical in both directions. Why? Because it is not necessary that both of them trust each other up to same level. Reason being, because individuals have different experiences, psychological backgrounds, and histories, two people may trust each other at different levels. For example, this is person A, this is person B. A trusts B up to 70% and B trusts A up to 50% because of past experiences, past histories, which B has, say, suffered from because of A. The trust has gradually reduced. Context and time. A person will tend to trust someone else about a set of things, but not about everything. For example, someone will trust her friend to recommend a movie but not to repair her car. When people build trust in one another and when they rely on it, it is usually connected to those contexts. However, trust may sometimes transfer from one context to another. A person may build trust in the co-worker that is entirely in work context, but later trust that person to recommend a plumber even if they have never had a discussion about plumbing or household repair. So it can be context based also, and later because of that the person will develop trust over all other matters as well. Trust can vary from one context to another, but even within a given context it can change over time. People tend to develop trust over time as their history of shared experiences builds. So history of experiences with a person will only history of experiences with someone will only build the trust over time. Trust may also decrease over time, trust may also increase over time. So trust may also decrease. If someone has one dramatic failure, trust may disappear completely. There might be that this 50 say it will become 0 because suppose A cheated on B. So B is now not relying anymore on what A is saying. A has spread some rumors about B. That's the reason why the trust which B had on A is now completely gone. Measuring trust is important but difficult. People perceive trust differently, and trust is also difficult to quantify or explain. How to measure trust? It has generally been broken down into two parts: a person's propensity to trust. A person's tendency to trust others is referred to as their propensity to trust. So, the tendency to trust someone is nothing but referred to as the propensity to trust. A common way to measure a person's propensity to trust and the trustworthiness of others is through the investment game. Senders who invest more money are more trusting, and receivers who return more money are more trustworthy. One person's decision about the other person is what we say as how much trust you have on the other person.